Edit text. Hello everyone. Today we're going to speak about edit text in this video. So edit texts are Android components and it's used to basically get data from the users. You can see edit text in many Android applications and they get the data from the users such as name and surname, password, address, all that kind of stuff. Now there are different types of edit texts. And we're going to see these types in this video in practice. So we'll go to Android Studio and let's have a look around. All right, so here you can see edit texts on the left side of Android Studio in the palette window. And under the text section, its name is plain text. And under the plain text, there are other types of edit texts such as password input, email input, phone number input, date and time, multi-line input, etc., etc. Now, before we start getting into edit text, let's change the relative layout to the linear layout. And now we can learn how to work with linear layout. So what I did was I deleted relative layout from the XML side and wrote linear layout here. Also, the orientation of the linear layout is vertical, and you can see that here. So what I'll do is I'll drag and drop a plain text under the linear layout, and there we go. We have an edit text. Now the idea of this edit text is edit text, and the text of edit text is name. So when we run this application, the users will enter data from here, such as name, right? So let's just run it and see what happens. Application running now, so you can see here users will enter their data from here. Now I'm going to delete the word name that we wrote before, and I can just write everything here. You know, also, I can always enter numbers from here as well. So let's add another edit text. Let me add password edit text and numerical password edit text and numerical edit text that you can just enter numerical numbers from here, and also the multi-line edit text. And we'll run the application with these edit texts. Great, so the first one is standard edit text, and you can enter numbers and characters. The second one is the password edit text. So when you enter password in this enter text, numbers and characters will not be seen, right? And you can enter this password edit text, numbers and characters. It's alphanumeric, just like you would want it to be. And the third one is also a password edit text, but users can only enter numbers and not characters. Also, numbers will not be seen in this type of edit text. And let's have a look at the fourth one, the number edit text. And then here, of course, users can only enter numbers in this edit text, but the numbers will be seen in this edit text. Now, where can this edit text be used? For example, if you want to, grab a phone number from the user, you can use this edit text, or you want a user to enter his or her age. So when you want the user to enter digits only, this is the type of edit text to use. Now the last one here is the multi-line edit text, and the user can enter more than one line of information in this type of edit text, obviously. So I will write here some text, just to show you how it works. And then you can see here, after the first line, the second line continues under the first line, just auto-magically. For example, you can use this type of edit text to get user comments or address, or address a complaint even. There are not going to be many of those, but whatever you need it to do. But in the first one, when the user enters more than one line after the line has finished, the head of the line will not be seen. Of course, we are not done yet. We've just placed the edit text here. So we need to get the information and use it somehow, right? And we will do this on the Java side using Java code. So let's do up an example, shall we? So I'm just going to delete the edit text except the first one. Now also let me add a button and a text view. So I will develop an Android application, right? And the user will enter the name from the edit text, and after they click on the OK button, the name will be seen on the text view. So I'm going to delete the text of the edit text, but it will not be empty. And I will add a hint to the edit text. Now the hint, of course, is a tip given to the user to understand what the user will write in the edit text. I mean, unless you're making a guessing game, but for this example, we're just going to write in the hint section, please write your name. And I'll change the text of the button as an OK. And I also deleted the text of text view. So let's change the design of the application a little bit. Now I'm going to give a layout margin here of 50 dp from top to the edit text. And I will give some space between the edit text and the button, about 30. And in the same way, the button and text view. And let's do, 30 as the height of the text view. And I'll change the width of the edit text. And let's make it 200. It's a little too small. Let's make it 300. Yeah, that looks okay. So in the same way, I'll just change the width of the button to 300. Now, for the text view, I just do the same. So that means I will place these three components into the center of the screen horizontally. So how can I do this? That's when I select linear layout. And then after that, I'll go to the gravity option from the attribute section, and I'll choose center horizontally, and then all the components placed in the center. Now I will add a text on the text view. Could be, result. And I'll change the background of the linear layout. And let's change the background of the other components too. And I'm going to choose white for these three components. Yeah, that button looks a little big, huh? So let me change it to 200. And now I'll give an ID to these components. So edit text name is for edit text. Button OK is for the button. And text view result is for the text view. So I think it's okay. Let's have a look. We'll run it and we'll see it on the phone. Okay, so the application is working. Now you can see the hint in here. And I write Arnold here, click OK. Arnold should be seen on the text view instead of result. So the application is not doing this right now. Well, because we have not written the Java code, right? That's what you were thinking. So why don't we go over to the Java side and write some code? So the first thing I need is to define these three components. And I'll define edit text. Now, when I write edit text and choose from the autocomplete, Android Studio imports the required class android.widget.editText. So after I wrote edit text, I'll just need to give a name to this edit text. Let's just call it name, just to be clear. Okay, so secondly, I'll do the same thing for the button and give a name, okay. And the last component is text view. I'll just call it result. So now I'm going to assign XML components that I designed before to use these names using the findViewById code inside the onCreate method. So here I'm going to write name equals findViewById r.id.editText name. On the second line, OK equals findViewById r.id.button OK. And in the same way, the result equals findViewById r.id.textViewResult. Yeah, you with me so far? Because it's so far so good. So now I'm going to add a click listener to the OK button, right? So OK.setOnClickListener, and inside the parenthesis, new view on click listener, and autocomplete will take care of the rest. And I'll write code inside the onClick method, and I'll get the data that the user enters in the edit text. But how am I going to do that? You tell me, you're the one who's teaching the course. Okay, what I'll do is I'll write it here, name.getText.toString. So this code will take that text that the user enters in the edit text, and then it converts it to the string, right? So now I'm going to write this string to the result text view. But before I do this, I'm going to need to define a string container, and we'll call that username. I will assign the text that I took from the edit text and put it into this username string. So because of this, I will write here username equals name.getText.toString. And then I can set the username on the text view. And I will write here result.setText, and inside the parenthesis, username. Right, so this is very important, and I hope you understand this. So rewind, set it up again in case you miss something. So what I did was I defined a container and its name is username. After that, I took the text that the user entered and converted it to a string. And then I assigned this text to the username. And then lastly, I set this username to text view. So let's run the application and see how it works or not. All right, so the application opened. And I'll just write here a name and click OK. Good, so it's working, right? So it takes the name I wrote in the edit text and then writes it to the text view instead of result. So I think that's plenty enough for this video. I hope you understood the edit text. Like I say, if not, just rewind and do it again. You'll get the hang of it. Until then, see you in the next video.